Alright, excuse me. Hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to The King's Speech. Oh, excuse me. So I just finished recording my One Piece review, not reaction and review, just review. So that should be hitting the channel pretty soon, hopefully. So I won't do too much of a spiel here before we get into the content. I'll just digress to say that I'm gonna hopefully have a channel update out tonight with like a general explanation of what's been happening the last couple of weeks and what to expect for the next couple of weeks of the channel and everything like that. Uh, like I mentioned in the One Piece video, I can't remember if I actually mentioned this on any of my previous videos or channel updates or if this was just on Twitter that I did this. But initially, my plan was to drop Spy Family and Kaiju number 8 from my roster just because they weren't getting the engagement that a lot of my other content was getting, and it's kind of doing a toss up, wondering whether it was worth the effort to keep going with those videos. And initially, I was gonna drop because I did a quick poll on Twitter. It seems like a lot of people just didn't care about that as much, and I was gonna drop it, but I reconsidered because these are two series I just really enjoy, and I like reacting to them, so I figured why not? I'll just do it for myself, even if no one else really particularly enjoys them. B, they're also kind of low effort. Like it doesn't really take much. Like I'm not to say that the content is like boring or anything like that. To, like put down the series themselves, but because they are lighthearted fun, it doesn't take a long time for me to record a reaction to them and like talk about what happens in the content, like analyze things, stuff like that. So I think it's kind of nice to have a couple of series like those in the rotation where I can just have fun with it without having to think too much, where there isn't a lot of problematic content or things in there. So that's also part of it. And the third reason is also kind of like I know I have a couple of friends who also really like this content specifically, and they're the ones that really do a lot to support these videos specifically, even if the engagement is low. So I figured as well for them, I'm also just going to keep going with these videos because they enjoy it. So yeah, because of all those, I've decided why the hell not? It's lighthearted fun. Might as well keep going with it. Uh, and besides, like, I'm not really expecting my channel to get like huge engagement numbers. So yeah, I think going with that is just a good idea. So quick rambling explanation for why if you see these videos coming back, if you expected them to stop, that they're coming back. So without further ado, let us dive into Spy Family Chapter 40. One more quick thing before I forget. I can't promise I'm going to be able to stick to this really well, but I'm going to try to be better about reacting to the chapters as they come out rather than like letting them stack up and then trying to dodge like spoilers on Twitter and everywhere else and then trying to like react to 3-4 at a time. So I'll try to be better about that. It might not happen this month, like just because I'm busy with work. But going forward, I'll try to be better about that. So we'll see how well I adhere to that. But that said, Spy Family Chapter 40 by Tetsuya Endo. With translation by Casey Lowe, lettering by Rina Mappa. And it looks like we're getting a Braun-centric chapter as the big flute falls just lying on the couch with his little paws up. And you have Anya going, could you be any lazier? As you just see him just twitching on the couch. And Yor's like, Anya, do your homework or you'll be in hot water with your teacher again. And she runs off with an okie doke. And you see Bond's ears kind of perking up as his precognition powers come in. And you see Bond's superpower, precognition. And you see a staticky little TV. And you see a giant fuzz as there's a giant black blob. Bond's like, huh? Because he's looking, because it's just staticky and black and he can't see anything into the future. And he's thinking of Anya going, play hide and seek with me. He's like hiding in a dark... Oh, he's trying to imagine... Poor Bond. He's trying to imagine, like, oh, what could this darkness be like representing? And he's like, oh, is it Anya playing hide and seek with me? He's like, play hide and seek with me. He's like, her covering her eyes as Bond's trying to hide under the TV. He's like hiding in a dark place. He's like, God, the power went out. He's like, was that the darkness? Or is it Yoko? I have a surprise for you, Bond. She puts a blindfold over his eyes, like, this way. He's like, is that the darkness? Then he has an Earth? And he imagines the scientist that experimented on going, I finally found you, Subject 8. Now it's time for you to die. The vroom vroom. It's like lab scientist, like bang, bang, bang. Poor Bond just imagines that the angels are taking his spirit up to heaven, and he just freaks out. He's like, oh! He's looking around, like shaking his head, and he sees the picture frame photo of him with the family. He's just so adorable. And he sees the other one with him playing with Anya, and the other one with his little big snoot up in the frame. And you have, oh God, you see Bond just imagining them kind of grieving over him with, Bond, no! And Lloyd trying to be like, don't cry for him. He died happy. It's like, yes, majestic sacrifice. And he's like, lets out a breath. And he trudges over to Anya's room with a Worf and he scratches at her door. And he imagines Anya going, you're here to say goodbye? But why? And it's just like, Worf. And Anya just opens the door and looks at him. And she's like, yeah, I was like, I'm busy doing homework. I don't have time to play. She just slams the door in his poor face. And Bond's like, oh! And he trudges over slowly to the kitchen with Yor. Yor's like, oh no, how could I forget? It's like, I'm so sorry, Bond. We're out of dog food and I forgot to buy more. And Lloyd said he'd be coming home late today. I guess I'll have to try making your dinner out of what we have here. Okay, I'll give it my best shot. And he's like, Clatter's like, Worf? As Yor's trying to make something. And he's like, Earth! And you see a fuzz. See the staticky future vision again, and a crunch. As you see him imagining Yor giving him some food, going, here, Bond, your dinner's ready. He's like, Worf. He's like, crunch. And it's like the cause of death. And it's like, Bond! As he imagines Bond just vomiting after having eaten Yor's food. And you see him just like, dum, 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 dum. As just like glooming. And he's getting scared. As Yor's like, don't you worry. Lloyd made me a list of ingredients that are bad for dogs. And Bond's just freaking out. And he's like, light bulb. And he sees, here's your... And he imagines as Yor goes, here's your dinner. He kind of just shakes his head no. He's like, problem solved. And then he imagines Anya telling him all seriously, careful, if you make Mama mad, she'll murderize you. And you just imagine Bond just splayed out, puddle of blood underneath him. He's like, Bond, no! And you're just dabbing her tears, and like, he wouldn't even try the dinner I made him, and she's holding a knife. And Blonde just like glooming, is like, oh, it's all over. And she's like, oh, so what do I do? What do I do? And Yor's like, Bond, stop it. No thrashing around in the house. He just goes on his back and starts wriggling around. He's like, what has gotten into you? Are you sick? And he has another light bulb moment. He's like, arf. It's like, ding. And he sees Lloyd not home equals Yor makes dinner equals Bond dead. And he goes, Lloyd comes home early equals Lloyd makes dinner equals Bond alive. And he imagines him going to find Lloyd, who somehow decided to spear a pig with his job. He's like, Bond, what are you doing here? And he imagines himself like killing the pig for Lloyd and be like, oh, thanks for killing that for me. Now I can go home early. Bond's like, yes, I'm a genius. As he goes and opens the door and runs out, and Yor's like, hey, Bond, hey! He's like, Bond! And he goes running off down the street, sniffing this way and that, looking for Lloyd. And you see him running down the street, just sniffing away. And he gets distracted by a hot dog, and he tries to go and beg for one, as the hot dog guy's like, huh? You a stray or something? Go, shoot, shoot. And then he imagines Yor getting mad, swinging the knife around, going, you spurned my food for this, bad dog! And he panics and takes off running again as he sees these kids going, look, a dog, let's draw eyebrows on him. Bond runs. You see him out of breath, sun setting as he's landing by the bridge. And he's just gloomy, like, oh, I couldn't find him. And his stomach starts grumbling. He wipes his eyes and he goes again for the search, running around town. And you see him ending up with the clock tower. He goes, sniff, sniff. And he smells something. You see a whoosh and a whoosh. And you see in some building somewhere Lloyd's dressed up like a robber, all in black with a backpack. As he goes, tonight's mission is to steal a sample of Geralumis, a new truth serum developed by Born Industries. And you see yet again the mission's a total rush job with no time to gather intel first. And you see Sylvia pulled up a list of names this time so I know who's who. So you see Sylvia saying, get it done now. And Lloyd goes, since I can't get in by impersonation, a direct infiltration is my only option. And you see Bond just coming skidding around the edge with a shoof. He's like, Worf, Worf, as he leaps towards Lloyd with tears in his eyes. And Lloyd's like, Bond, what's he doing here? He's like, silence, the enemy will spot us. He's like, are you here by yourself? What about Yor and Anya? Did you get lost out while on a walk? Bond's just shaking his head no. Lloyd's like, whatever the reason, I'm here for work. So you need to go home now. And Bond started like gesturing like Worf, 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 as he's trying to imagine him saying like Yor's gonna kill me. Bond's like, what is it? You want to play? I'm busy. We'll play later. And you see Bond trying to be like, trying to dodge off to the side. And Lloyd's like, stop! That way's crawling with guards. And you see Bond doing like a big exaggerated sniff as he goes around the edge. And he goes, Worf, as he points. And Lloyd's like, is he trying to guide me to a route free of people? I don't recall training him to do that. Could he have already known? He goes, now that I think about it, Born Industries was rumored to be involved with Project Apple. Do you know that somehow? Is that why you're here? Bond's just looking confused. Lloyd's like, is that what this is? Payback against the scientist who abused you and your friends as test subjects? And Bond's like, whoa? Worf! So then let's complete our missions together. Maybe that nose of yours can make up for my lack of intel. And you have Worf! And see Bond... And Lloyd just stealthily sneaking through, and you see Bond getting distracted by some hamburgers. And you see, this must be the laboratory. It's full of specimen lockers, but which one has the serum? Security is tight and would take forever to check them all. Who knows when I'll be getting home tonight? And I see Beep as he's trying to break into one of the lockers. You see Bond's ears turking, he goes twitch, twitch, as he sees a fist as a future vision of, why the hell is the section manager calling us in at this hour? Apparently they found impurities. It's like, oh no, the staff is coming back. It's like, I'll hold them off. You run straight home. It's going to be a long night. And you see Bond imagining him going home with the Worf. And you're shouting at him going, where have you been? Eat your food now. Bond's like, Worf, Worf. He's like, relax. Everyone's gone home for the night. And he's grabbing Lloyd's shirt and pulling me like, Worf. He's like, hey. He's like, are you saying? And you see playing out exactly how Bond had imagined, with a bunch of workers coming in going, why the hell is the section manager calling us in at this hour? So apparently they found impurities, but the delivery date still got moved up? This is absurd. It's like, cut him a break. He's getting a lot of pressure from. It's like, huh? The door's unlocked. It's like, hey, what the hell is this? You see a Stein saying, of Stone Garamalus, T-Bandit. T-Bandit? Who? And you see, is this some kind of joke? As they rush over to the safe, put the code in and open it. He's like, what the? It's all still here. This is just some dumb prank. And you see Lloyd just grabbing his backpack like a hammer and Bond with his little robber mask on leaping behind him as Lloyd smashes into two of them and knocks them out with his bag, and Bond leaps onto the other one from the back and smashes his face into the ground. And Lloyd's like, thanks for opening that for me. And God's like, what the hell? A dog? Who are? And you see Bond with the Worf as he just bounces into him and kicks him as he's ripping his mask off his face. And you see Bond like, ha. And Lloyd's like, nice work. Thanks to you, my mission is complete. We'll make it home earlier than I thought. Bond's ears perk. I was like, huh? As he sees the staticky future vision. He imagines Lloyd giving him some food and going, how's that taste? He's like, Worf, nom, 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 nom. So we were so worried. We looked everywhere. And Bond's just so happy. He's like, Worf. As he's got tears streaming down his face. So Lloyd's like, huh? You must be really happy to get payback in Born Industries. Good for you. Let's hit the market on the way back. I'll cook you something special. Bond's like, Worf, Worf. What an adorable little dumbass. Oh, I love Bond, and it's such a dramatic. Ah, so dramatic. Alright, so it looks like we have an extra chapter. Yeah, I'll go through this quickly. So we have chapter 40.1, Short Mission 5 by Tetsuya Endo, translation by Casey Lowe, lettering by Rina Mappa. We have Sylvia Sherwood, a handler at WISE, the Westalia Intelligence Services Eastern Focus Division. Age scratched out, single. Officially, she performs the duties of an attaché at Westalis's embassy in the East. Unofficially, she commands a corps of intelligence agents despite being under strict surveillance by the secret police. Because of her flawless performance under such harsh conditions, her odd agents have dubbed her Full Metal Lady. And you see her dressed like normal civilian clothes, looking super sexy in a pair of glasses. And she's walking down the street, being trailed by these two thug-looking guys. Yeah, looks like it's time to start tailing Secretary Sherwood. And as she's walking, she goes, as inept as ever, I see. Same clothes, same errand, same route. Every Wednesday, Sylvia heads for the public pool. She broadcasts her routine to anyone watching. Their lazy brains have grown duller thanks to my predictable schedule. You see the two guys following her going, same pool as usual. She'll be in there for at least an hour. Want to grab a bite? If you can create gaps in your schedule, then it's possible to move freely even on enemy turf. And you see as she's going inside, she swaps out her disguise for a new one. You have now to rendezvous with Twilight. This new coat isn't bad at all. You see her with a slick back, black hair with a fur coat now. As you have in this world, the punishment for sloppiness is death. Good day, or rather, good evening, Agent Twilight. And that's what we managed to learn from the financial reports of Desmond's partners. Now among them is a paper company. And Lloyd's like, this is so awkward. She forgot to cut the price tag off of that new coat. But there's no way I can point that out to the Full Metal Lady. You see, after the meeting, Lloyd's walking away as he goes, Lord Forager, codenamed Twilight, a wise agent wholly devoted to his mission for the sake of world peace. A master spy who's abandoned the comforts of a normal life. Even a meeting with his handler carries grave risks. When she's being followed, they have to find subtle ways to shake her pursuers. And you see, as she's in disguise walking by a bookstore, she sees, looks into the mirror, and she sees Lloyd gesturing. You have 2 to the north, 1 to the east. It's like, should we cancel? It's like, no, meet at point C. Let's make this short. Roger that. And thus these routine exchanges of secret intel help to maintain peace between East and West. Good day, or rather good evening, Agent Twilight. Report your progress on Operation Strix. And Lloyd, seriously, with like his fingers steepled, is like, my daughter can now jump over 2 vaulting boxes. Also, she can jump rope 5 times in a row. And she's just got this unamused look. She's like, you've got to be kidding me. That's the end of the short chapter. I love Proud Daddy Lloyd. Oh, so great. So we have Spy Family, chapter 41. Again, by Tetsuya Endo. Translation by Casey Lowe, lettering by Rina Mappa. We have a Syscon chapter with Yuri. As you have a Kachik slam. As you have him listening in on a meeting. As you go, sounds like the targets just entered the room. 3 people. The 2 in the back are big guys. They're avoiding the door and window. Pros from the sound of their footsteps. Conrad just sat down on the sofa against the back wall. They made the deal. Jeff, okay. It's like, we're going in, Yuri. It's like, roger that. And you see these ugly, scary-looking mofos. One with this bunch of scars on his face. As you go, State Security Service. You're under arrest on suspicion of espionage. And you see Conrad be like, damn it! As he goes the back window, tosses it open, tries to run out. Where Yuri is waiting, and he slams him into the ground. Grabs his arm in a lock. As he goes, good evening, Mr. Traitor's Trash. I've reserved our finest jail cell for you. May I escort you to the precinct? And you have excellent work, Lieutenant Breyer. He's like, thank you very much, sir. It's like, I have another assignment for you. Are you aware of the recent spate of books and articles being released in the West that mock and slander Ostania? And you see, the real Ostania, inside the Devil's Republic. A bunch of lies and conspiracy theory nonsense. Vulgar garbage, all of it. And a lot of them are printed by Ostanian black market presses before being sold to the West. This man's name keeps popping up among their writers. Franklin Perkin, age 39. A newspaper journalist during the previous administration, he was arrested and found guilty of aiding anti-government extremists. I want you to follow him, secure evidence of his crimes, and find out who's paying him to write this trash. There are no shortage of morons in the West who believe the nonsense he's peddling. I want him gone before it begins to influence public opinion here. Jeff, yes, sir. It's like, don't you think you're working Yuri a little too hard lately? It's like, don't worry, I can handle this. I'm psyched. What a sociopathic bastard. It's like selling out his own country just to make a few bucks. Disgusts me that this scumbag is out there breathing the same air as my beloved sister. And you see tack, tack, tack. Observation subject J095, Franklin Perkin. On the 6th, subject wakes at 7:21. Subject watches television program Good Morning Ostania. Subject curses at newscaster. At 08:10, subject leaves for job at post office. Sees appendices for details of his attire. Subject rides on third car of U8 train. Sees appendices for descriptions of fellow passengers. See appendices, so the report appendices. No, I thought he was talking about the guy who was looking at the appendices of the newspaper or something. 12:06, subject goes to the restaurant Fjord with coworker M and orders lunch set A. See appendices for log of conversation topics. 17:49, subject leaves work and goes to Central Market. At 19:33, subject returns home and watches television program News 20 and Berlin in Love. Subject appears infatuated with the female lead. No further activities of note before retiring for the night. And you see, you really dug into the details on this guy. Yuri's like, you can count on me, sir. It's like, you've pulled 2 all-nighters in a row. Let someone take over so you can rest. And Yuri's like, and here's the next day's report. It's like, come on, this is nothing. He sees on the 7th at 08:07, subject goes to work, has lunch at the restaurant Fjord, and orders lunch set B. And you see a twitch, and his supervisor's looking at him as he goes, Fjord, your. And you see twitch, twitch, and he's just, and he tells him, you're tired, go rest. And you're like, I'm not, that always happens. And you see a boost, and it's like, bam, bam, bam. Mr. Perkin? It's like, oh, it's the landlady. It's like, enough delays, you need to pay your back rent now. It's like, can you just give me a few more days? That's exactly what you said last time. He's like, I'll pay up the day after tomorrow, I promise. He's like, break that promise and you're out, got it? There's a greedy old hag. As he goes to grab his jacket. Yeah, hey Dad, I'm going out for a bit. I made dinner, so eat some if you get hungry. So Yuri and his supervisor nod at each other as they start to go out and start tailing Perkins. And he goes, does he think he's being followed? It's either that or I'd say he's looking for something to write about. And you see him rustling as he pulls out a camera from inside his coat. Yeah, our country needs to stand up to these provocations and respond in. Like, as for foreign powers, you see a click as he's walking by some sort of rally and taking pictures. He's like, damn it, can't get a single decent picture. And you see, check it out, my parents bought me a Bondman replica pistol. Oh, awesome, let me play with it. You see these little kids running by, playing with a toy gun. It's like, no way, it's mine. It's like, come on, share. Perkin just kind of glares at them, walks up with a tump, 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 and a hey, as he grabs the toy gun out of the kid's hand. And he throws it into the trash. He's like, what are you doing? It's like, my Bondman pistol. And you see the kids going and diving into the trash to find it. Oh, what the hell? And you see the guy just having like this gloating, satisfied look as he goes, street urchins so desperate and hungry that they're scrounging garbage for scraps. Now that's not bad. It's like, what's the big idea, you jerk? I'm going to rat you out to the SSS. And he comes up close and goes, oh, I heard you monopolizing that pistol. Seems like you're a greedy hog who refused to share your wealth. Maybe you should be more worried that your adherence to ideologies of the West will get you arrested and killed, huh? And the kids just fall silent as he walks up with an and you're just like, why that? I'll kill him. And the supervisor's like, stop. Wait until he leads us to the publisher buying his crap. As you're just glaring at him as he walks away. And you see later that night, he's at his typewriter tapping with a oh man, this article's going to be a hoot. And you see as he's typing, his father comes in and goes, hey Frank, you're not doing anything dangerous, are you? He's like, Of course not. Leave me alone. So you'd still have that newspaper job if you hadn't insisted on taking some odd stand for what you thought was right. And he goes, I just want to make this country a better place for our family to live. What is so wrong about that? Do I need to remind you that even living as meager a life as this still costs money? And he goes, if we had more money, then maybe Mom would have. And he stays silent, kind of gritting his teeth. He's like, never mind, forget it. And you see Yuri just kind of expressionless, tapping with a tum-tum-tum. Javis Perkins motivated by concern for his family as he types in the note. But he rips it out and crumples up the paper. And you see, on the 11th at 08:36, subject leaves for work. You have a beep beep and a chatter chatter. As you see Yuri tailing him, and he goes, there's been no sign of attempted contact with publishers from his home or during his daily outings. Does that mean he does it at work? So he follows him into the post office, where you have this load of mail has been screened by the monitors and is ready to go. He's like, I'll take it from here. And Frank's like, why don't you let me handle that one, Joseph? Go ahead and take your lunch early. He's like, great, thanks. He's like, what to eat? And you see a rattle. He's wheeling away the cart. And he pulls a little envelope from inside his jacket. He goes, so he's been sending out manuscripts by slipping them into mail cleared by the postal monitors. And you see him as he's about to drop it, and he goes, send that and your fate is sealed. And he drops it into the bin. And Yuri's eyes just narrow. You have on the 15th at 08:02. You have, I'm off to work. He's like, Now as he's going by the window, he looks down and he sees Yuri in his SS police uniform, flanked by two flunkies. He's like, the State Security Service. He's like, sorry, Dad. I might not be back for a while. And as he goes down the stairs to meet them, Yuri holds up the letter that he saw him drop. And he goes, Franklin Perkin, I believe you're the one who wrote this. We've already arrested the publisher it was addressed to, so don't deny it. And he goes, I appreciate you waiting outside for me like this. I never knew SSS officers could be so kind. And he's like, I saw no reason for your family to witness your disgrace. Don't get the wrong idea. And he takes out a pair of handcuffs and cuffs him. He goes, the man who fights against tyranny or the man who serves as its lapdog? Which of us is a true disgrace here? And Yuri's like, unlike you, I would never do anything to cause my sister pain. Ever. And as they're taking him away, he goes, I'll submit an application for your father to receive financial assistance. And he's silent before he goes, thank you. And he sees later that night, hey Yuri, you've really been making a name for yourself. I'm proud of you, my boy. He's like, Director, sir, I'm honored. He's like, you've been working some long hours for a new recruit. You sure the stress isn't catching up with you? He's like, no, sir. This is the perfect job for me. I'm going to keep fighting to protect our country and capture Twilight himself one of these days. It's like, are you now? That'd be real swell. How about I take you out for a nice steak dinner one of these nights? It's like, really? Because I'm going to hold you to that, sir. I'm like, yes. And you see a boost. It's like, coming. You see that night he goes to visit his sister. He's like, hiya, Yor. Thought I'd drop by. He's like, Yuri? Is something wrong? It's so late. And Lloyd's like, good evening, Yuri. And Anya's like, Uncle. He's like, what are you doing here, Lloyd Forger? Haven't you ever heard of working nights? He's like, I guess I just wanted to see my beloved sister's face. And you see Anya kind of just like pings something with her brain, with her psychic powers. And she kind of tugs on his coat and goes, pat, pat. And he's like, what do you want, Chihuahua girl? As Yor just pats him on the head and goes, I'm so proud of you for working so hard. I'll put on some tea for us, okay? He goes, Yor! As he's starting to blush. He's like, Yor, 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 Yor. And he's like, ugh. He's like, Yuri, you're going to disturb the neighbors. Oh, I'll talk about thoughts on the chapter at the end. Oh, once we cover all of that, but that's my least favorite one to date. And you see the pastry of knowledge, considered one of the 7 wonders of Eden Academy students. Considered one of the 7 wonders of Eden Academy, students whisper about this legendary confection in hushed tones. Stories abound of a mysterious patissier who appears unannounced in the cafeteria and, as if on a whim, offers extraordinarily delicious desserts. Because so many of those lucky enough to eat this pastry have gone on to become imperial scholars, a rumor was born. It's a dessert that makes you instantly smarter. Even today, there are those within Eden's student body who vigilantly await an opportunity to order it. I love this cover. You have Spy Family, Mission 42 by Tetsuya Endo, translation by Casey Lowe, lettering by Rina Mappa. And you see a suite of playing cards with Anya as the Joker, Damien as the King, Becky as the Queen. If they made Spy Family playing cards, I would snap those up in a heartbeat. And you see, wait, can it be? You're the prince I met that day. It's like, no, I'm just another version of you. And you see Anya and Becky playing with their little sheep dolls. It's like, those eyes, that hair. No, I'm sure of it. You're my prince. How I love you. It's like, nope, I'm a girl sheep just like you. And Becky's like, come on, Anya. Can't you just play along? And Anya's like, but they look exactly the same. It's like, ignore that for the sake of the story. And you have, it's Anya's turn next. It'll be a battle story with twins separated at birth. It's like, no, I don't want them to fight. They'll get all scratched up. And you have a gah. It's like, oh, did you hear the news? At the end of the term, they're going to divide us into new classes by ability. And Anya's like, what does that mean? And you see a chart of exceed standard, meet standard, near standard, and other, with Becky at meet standard, Anya and other. And Becky goes, we're being separated based on our performance. So basically, kids like me who are pretty good at school will be in one class, and kids like you will be in another. Poor Anya's freaking out, going, I'm going to be all by myself? Becky's like, you could be, so you better start applying yourself. Rumor has that it'll be based on not just midterms and finals, but tomorrow's quizzes too. And one of those is on classical language. Ugh. It's like, yeah, I'm doomed. Excuse me. And you see him whispering on the next page. It's like, let's go right now. It's happening. It's like, what's happening? It's like, the pastries. They're selling them in the dining hall too. It's like, huh? What pastries? Like, do you seriously not know? A former royal chef is visiting today. He's made the pastries of knowledge. They're legendary. Eat one and you'll lock for Imperial Scholar. Apparently they're macarons this year. The supply is limited. We gotta get ours before they run out. You have, okay. And you see them dashing off, and you see Anya and Becky exchanging a look as they run, looking super determined. And Anya's like, if I eat one even, I could be a genius. Becky's like, well, it's probably just a superstition, but it couldn't hurt, right? Not to mention macarons from a former royal chef. I want to try them. I bet they're amazing. And Anya's like, what's a Miss Anya's like, what's a macaron? It's like, that's got to be it. And you see this huge lineup of kids. Yeah, we need to hurry before they... And you see, as Damien and his flunkies, whose names I now know are Emil and Ewan, which is just weird-ass names, are flanking them from the other side. It's like, why are you all in such a hurry? It's like, duh, same reason you are. And you have only one order left of the special Pierre Pommier macaron set. First come, first served. And they're like, no way. No way am I letting them get this. Stella stars are on the line. And you see, what's the Frankenstein-looking kids? Oh, George, the Frankenstein-looking mofo. He's like, I'll have one, please. He's like, here you are, sir. And he's like, today's special item is now sold out. It's like, yay, it's my lucky day. Now maybe even I can get a Stella Star. It's like, I can't wait. And you see Damien rushing up going, damn it, George, that's mine. Becky's like, hand that over right now. That belongs to me. He's like, boy, am I being mugged? He's like, I bought this with my own paltry allowance. It's mine by right. And he's like, ugh. Damien's like, hey, you never returned that stationery set. He's like, Becky's like, I sang for you under false pretenses. It was so embarrassing. And he's like, I'm mad about the leaf. And George's like, okay, fine. It's a set of 5 macarons, so you can have the other 4. And then we're even. He's like, I knew you were a good guy, George. And then you see them going, the other 4. And you see there's 5 of them, so they stare at each other. And thus, a fierce battle royal ensued between the 5 Imperial Scholar hopefuls. And you see Damien holding out some playing cards as he goes, a single round of Old Maid. No macaron for the loser. Becky's like, fine by me. Anya's like, I've never played cards before. What are the rules? Are you kidding me? You try to make pairs of cards with the same number while avoiding being stuck with the Joker. It's like, okie dokie. And you see, begin, as they all sit in a circle. And you have Damien going, let's pass the Joker around till we can sticker with it. The pastry of knowledge would be wasted on someone who doesn't even know Old Maid. What was it? Emil? Yeah. Emil's like, Roger that. And you see a ding as the Joker pops out and Damien sounds like, alright, it's your turn. And Anya's like, okay, I've got a 6, a 4, and a 10. It's like, you don't have to tell us that, Anya. And Damien's just grinning like, hey, what a doof. I'll just put the Joker front and center and bury this 6 behind the other cards. He's like, go on, pick one. And Anya just does her smirk. He's like, and she goes, 6, and just grabs the card out of his hand. He's like, huh? It's like, flip, as she flips it over. It's like, that was amazing, Anya. And Damien's like, that was beginner's luck. She just like, yeah. It's like, 4, 10, the letter A, the old guy. And she's like, I did it. I got rid of all my cards. And she's like, winner. And Damien's like, hold on. There's no way that you're that good. And Ewan's like, he's right. You cheated. You marked the card somehow. And he's like, huh? And Becky's like, don't call her a cheater just because you lost. Damien's like, that wasn't cheating. The only possible explanation is she can read minds somehow. And Anya's like, oh, oops, guess I took that a little too far. He's like, if you're that upset, then let's just play again. Becky's like, what? You don't need to give in to them. It's like, we're using a brand new deck of cards and changing the order and no cheating this time. He's like, I wasn't. And he's like, oh, that was too close. I need to make mistakes on purpose so he doesn't figure out that I'm a telepath. You see a flip, flip. You see Ewan going, so the old maid has found her way to me. He's like, go ahead. He's like, And he's just staring. And Anya's like, she's right there in the middle. Go ahead and take it. And Anya's like, must pick wrong card. And she takes the card and goes, oh golly, I seem to have unawarefully pulled the old maid. It's like, wah, you suck. You're so dumb, you dummy. And Anya's like, well, guess it's time to break out my... Like, no hitting, Anya. Don't do it. So that was close. If I get expelled, we'll fail the mission. I need to become a cool liar like Papa. And he's like, hey, darn, my bad luck. It's like, besides, this is fine. All I need to do is pass the old maid to Damien and I'm good. So she puts the card and he's like, choose. And she reaches for one of the other ones, like, yeah. And she sees him reaching for the Joker. She's like, all happy. And he reaches for the 2. And she's all unhappy again. And she pulls the card. And Damien's like, could she be any easier to read? But the Gulpin's like, could it be that Scion Boy reads minds too? It's like, and that's a pair. And Ewan's like, I'm out. And Becky's like, and I'm out too. Anya's like, oh no, I still can't get rid of the old maid. It's come down to her and Damien. She's just looking all fiercely determined. It's like, wow, you suck too, Damien. It's like, shut up. It's like, come on, Anya, you can do this. It's like, here I go. It's like, this pick decides the game. As long as I can see her face, the game is mine. Now Anya's like freaking out, going, I can't mess this up. I need to trick him into picking the Joker. If I lose this, I won't get a cookie and I'll still be dumb. I'll fail my test and have to be in a different class from Becky. I'll be all by myself. And he's like, It's like, this has to be the one. She doesn't want me to, huh? So you're just poor baby just doing this crying, snotty face. And she's like, oh no. And Damien's like, she's so cute. And he hesitates and you have the next one going, okay, here's everyone's share. He's like, yay, this looks so good. I can't wait. So what were you thinking taking the Joker like that, boss man? Shut up. And Damien's like, shut up. He's like, no fair crying like that, damn it. And Anya notices and comes over to him. She goes, Scion Boy, do you want half? And he's just completely taken aback. And he goes, no, because I don't need it, you idiot. I don't need some stupid cookie to become an Imperial Scholar. That's for dummies like you. And Anya just gets mad as he walks away. He's like, how rude. Let's eat, Anya. Like, I'm so ready for this. Like, so good. It's like, soon I'll have a Stellar Star too. And you have an, and so Anya's like, ah! She just imagines like all this power coursing into her. And the next day on the desk, she's like, roar! She's just frantically scribbling away. And you have you may begin your quiz. And a roar! As you see the next day, they just got stone faces as all of them just failed terribly. Just did not do anything. And Anya's like, well, so much for my life here, Eden. So don't say things like that. You'll make it up on your finals. And George's like, at least you aren't already all alone like I am. And Yor's like, boy, these school tests sure are tough. And Anya's just like trudging away, going, I'm going to go cry myself to sleep. And Lloyd's looking over the test and going, her scholastic abilities have improved slightly, but we still have a long way to go. He's like, huh? This classical language test. If she hadn't lost so many points for spelling mistakes, she actually would have done quite well. And she got a 41 out of it. And Lloyd looks in surprise as he goes, and they barely studied classical language at all. Could she somehow be well acquainted with it due to her upbringing? But it's not like there's a country where they still speak that way today. It's like, no, there wouldn't be any point to that. You have, hey Anya, I made your favorite Hamburg steak for dinner. And he's like, Hamburg steak? And Yor's like, and I tried making my hand at making dessert. And Bone's like, Worf? Oh man, I hope we're going to get some Anya backstory soon. As we get to chapter 43, final one before I'm finally caught up. As we have Spy Family chapter 43 by Tetsuya Endo, translation Casey Lowe, lettering Rina Mappa. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, here's the fake ID for Department 2 of Doused Industries, and these are the engine test results for that new fighter jet they're developing. Jeff, thank you as always. Jeff, you do know I'm charging you for these, right? As Frankie's manning a tobacco stall Lloyd's walking away from. And Frankie goes, what about the pictures I requested of the... Oh no, it's Lloyd going, what about the pictures I requested of the members of that association? He's like, that one's going to take a little longer. One of my contacts who specializes in that sort of intel has been eliminated. It's like, what? The SSS got him? It's like, nope. I don't have any hard proof, but rumor has it Garden did him in. You have Lloyd being like, huh? So the assassin group that has supposedly been operating for a while now? I thought half the stories about them were urban legends. It's like, nope, they're very much real. They've been purging traitor after traitor under orders from the shadow government. And Lloyd's like, well, I suppose every nation has its unofficial paramilitary organization. Frankie's like, are you kidding me? They aren't some random yahoos. They say just one of their soldiers can wipe out an entire military troop. He's like, whatever, Frankie, just get me those pics. He's like, wait, in exchange for all the extra trouble, you gotta help me with a job. A job? And he's like, whoop. It's like, this guy right here. And you see missing cat, name Kopi, Nort Blue. You have a lost cat. Frankie's like, he belongs to a server named Casey who works at my favorite cafe. He disappeared last week and she's completely devastated. And he's like, Twilight, I need Casey's smile back in my life. You gotta help me find this cat so things can start getting good between me and Casey. And Lloyd just walks away with a tump. Frankie's like, hey! He's like, stop! No more intel if you don't help me with this. He's like, what? He's like, okay, fine, I'll throw in a new gun I developed that looks like a toothbrush. And Lloyd doesn't give a shit, just keeps walking off. He's like, what the heck? How can that guy be so cruel? Like, fine, I'll just catch the cat myself. Don't underestimate the power of informants. You see him going and picking up a phone and going, hey Jeffrey, it's me. That's right, I got a job for you. I'm looking for a cat. It's a male Nort Blue with a bell on its collar. If you see it, let me know. Like, hello? Is this Terrence? Yeah, I got an urgent situation here. Good day, Jasper. Listen. Hey, been a while, Hound Joe. I got a job that requires your special talents. Hey, Nancy, you know a lot about cats, right? Yo, Pat, can I speak to Harrison in branch office 22, please? And you see the phone ringing as he goes, I got a cat matching that description on Ritter Street in your city hall. Frankie's like, you're the best, Joe. And you see him wandering around going, so, should be around here somewhere? Yeah, Frankie, is that you? And Yor walks up and goes, it's good to see you. He's like, Yor? He's like, how you been? He's like, oh, that's right, you work at City Hall. He's like, yeah, I just stepped out for my lunch break. He's like, do you work in this area too, Frankie? He's like, no, the truth is, it's like a missing cat. Poor thing, I'll help you find him. He's like, but I'm sure you want to go get lunch. He's like, oh, don't you worry about that. Any friend of my husband's is a friend of mine. I won't leave you in the lurch. And he's like, still playing the part of the dutiful wife, huh? And Yor's like, but I wouldn't want to be a bother to you. He's like, nah, I don't mind the help. He's like, okay. So she's like, so which way did our Mr. Kopi go? He's like, all I know is that he's somewhere in this area. So I've installed a C20 feline form listening device at each local point where cats congregate. They're equipped with sensors designed to react to the sound of Kopi's bell collar. And Jeff, that's incredible, Frankie. He's like, hey, just wait. You see whack, whack. It's like the C20 at point A is under attack? Oh dear. And you see this fake-ass looking cat with these real cats just smashing it because they don't like the look of it. And you have a beep, beep. He's like, well, that was destroyed. It's like, damn it, all the others are down too. The cats must have purged them for being outsiders. Well, that was a disaster. He always like, I didn't realize cats could be so savage. It's like, in that case, we'll just have to get the cats to come to us. So I give you the cat nearness inducement prototype decoy system, and it's literally called Cat NIP. And you're going, ooh. It's like, if I spread the scent of catnip, you're link target straight to us. And you're always like, you're so good at building things, Frankie. Are you a mechanic? He's like, I've always dreamed of making the world a better place with my inventions. And maybe getting rich from the patents along the way. Haha. It's like, I can't tell her how that dream ended up. So that's so wonderful. And you see, and you see an army of cats just rushing towards him. He's like, oh no, there's too many. And yours like, which one of them is Kopi? He's like, oh, there, the gray one. It's like, wait, which one? And Frankie's like, I can't let that cat get away no matter what. And he's rustling around in his bag as a bunch of cats are just jumping up onto Yor. He's like, please, someone help me. Is he pulling out this gun going, hyper long hand, which got this like little claw thing trying to grab him. And as he lets it go, Kopi just jumps over it. It's like, rat. It's like, okay, I can't get pussyfoot around here. I need to go bigger. It's like, you stay out of there. It's like my camera-shaped net launcher. It's like, Kopi seems to be wary by nature. But with this, I can be like, hey, I'm just taking a picture. Don't mind me. Unfortunately, concealing the net launcher in a camera frame really diminishes its range. I need to get within 2 meters for it to work. And so you try to sneak up on the cat. The cat's just slowly slinking away. And he's like, "Grah!" He starts chasing him. He's like, stop, damn you. And Yor's like, oh, that must be Kopi. And the cat just stops. Gives him this smirk as his tail's wagging. Frankie's like, well, now you've done it, Kopi. You've made me angry. Big mistake. But it's too late to make things right now. You're about to witness the debut of my ultimate weapon. He's a ka-chunk, ka-chunk, as he puts on this exoskeleton scoot with a giant F on it. I've spent a decade developing a way to hopefully bestow superhuman powers on myself. Behold my exoskeleton power suit. He's like, okay, it takes about 15 minutes for the battery to warm up the motor, so hold tight till then, okay? So you push you in a vroom vroom as the steam's just pouring out of the machine. See, hey, his Kopi's just running away. He's like, that's a major street, you idiot. You're gonna get hit by a car. I said, stop, come on. Sorry, I won't chase you anymore. And York sneaks up behind him and goes, Frankie, let me borrow this for a second. It's like, yank. He's like, huh? And she rips the motor off of his back. It's like, what? And a grah. And York just powers up and just throws it with a yeah. And sends it flying in front of Kopi with a smash and a bam. And it's like, Rrr! As he looks back in shock. Oh my god, this series does expressions so well. Yep, you're just looking like the face of death, all blacked out with these huge black eyes. Just leaping towards the cat who's just like scared shitless. And she grabs him with the yoink. He's like, I caught him. It's like, Frankie, look, I caught Kopi. It's like, yeah. As he's just standing there with his ruined machine. He's like, thanks. It's like, isn't that wonderful, Kopi? You're finally going home. Frankie's like, 10 years. 10 years of my life. But if this is what it takes to win Casey's heart, then it's a small price to pay. It's like, I'm coming for you, baby. And you see, yay, thank you so much, Frankie. And you see, oh, Kopi, I was so worried about you. She's just like snuggling and crying. And you see this blonde-looking guy coming up behind and going, hey, that's wonderful news, babe. As he's patting her head. I was like, none of this would have happened if you hadn't left the porch door open. It's like, I told you I'm sorry, and I'm going to buy us those matching rings you wanted to make up for it. It's like, how is that going to keep Kopi safe? And Frankie's just got dead eyes. He's like, well, I'm glad things worked out. I'll be on my way. Haha. Like, thank you so much, Frankie. Come see us again. He tries to walk off being all cool, being like, yeah, I wish you two all the best. And he just starts bawling as you have, and thus the man resolved to live for his work. You see, back at City Hall, Yor's typing away, going, really does feel so good to help people. As she's just humming. And one of her coworkers is like, you seem to be in high spirits today, Yor. Oh, did your husband buy you something nice? He's like, no, nothing like that. He's like, good for you having such a nice time. It's like, how annoying. It's like, maybe she's just happy she's finally become somewhat normal. You really think so? I'm normal now? They're like, huh? So that's such a relief. It'll really help maintain my cover. You have Sharon, I've told you not to build her up like that. It's like, I meant it as a dig. And you see, Miss Breyer, Miss Forger, you have a phone call. That's right, it's Miss Forger now. It's from your special contact. And Yor's like, oh. And she goes, face is all serious. She picks up the phone and goes, hello, it's me. You have good day to you. I have a new client for you, Thorn Princess. Oh, shit. Cannot wait. Finally getting some Yor focus. Oh. Also, it just hit me that Thorn Princess Garden. I see the connections. As you see, oh, god damn, that is a beautiful cover page. So we have Spy Family special illustration of Yor laying down in a bed of roses. Oh, the two little like spikes she uses as weapons. Ooh. Yor is a gorgeous woman. Alright, so with that said, quick thoughts on Spy Family before I wrap up this video. So most of it was good. I like the wholesomeness and kind of like the gullibility of the kids with, believing that the pastry is going to kind of give you a little advantage over the others. So that was an amusing little story. I always love the Anya Damien interactions and kind of the little beef that they have with each other. Those are always really amusing. Especially with Damien becoming more and more tsundere because he doesn't want to admit that he actually likes Anya. So that was really, really good. As always, the expressions are always solid. I love Bond being just the most dramatic dog and just doing like all this dramatic like acting and be like, oh, I have to say goodbye and like chasing after Lloyd. It was good to kind of see that dynamic and team between Lloyd and Bond working together, especially with him wearing the little ski robber mask and like whipping it off and just I love Bond so much. So those are all good. I didn't really care for the Yuri chapter because apart from, the all cops are bastards kind of thing, like I think it kind of really downplayed the fact that this guy is part of a fascist secret police, that basically is capturing, imprisoning, and most likely torturing people. So not the hugest fan of like how they're trying to downplay his participation, like that entire kind of system. Right now, I'm willing to cut a little bit of slack to see like how it's going to develop and like what the conflicts and things that are going to spring out of it will be. But yeah, I wasn't really a huge fan of like how much that was downplayed. I'm not really a huge fan of his chapters in general, but again, we'll see for the future what happens with that. And it's kind of far and in between for those chapters, so not a big, huge deal there. Other than that, like I said, with the latest chapter, it was nice to see again like the different kind of ensemble cast like teaming up with Frank and Yor this time. Amusing chapter. I'm glad we're finally kind of having this segue into Yor finally getting some focus, because I don't think she's had some since pretty much, or at least focusing on the assassin aspect of her character since the start of the series. So it'll be good to kind of see that coming back into it. Apart from that, really do love Spy Family. It continues to be one of the best series in Jump. It's so wholesome. It's really, really a lot of fun. Looking forward to more of it. Like I said at the beginning, I will try to do better about kind of keeping up with the releases as they come out, because I fell quite a bit behind this time and led to a longer video than normal, so I'll try to keep up with that. That said, as always, if you do like my content, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, this is Ash. I will talk to you all later.